UFC Fight Night Blanchfield versus Barber, or UFC Vegas 107, is currently first place in the running for the worst UFC card of 2025. We are 6 months through, and this has been the worst one we've seen so far. Now, I don't even know where we start with this one. I mean, realistically, we didn't get a main event, but how about we start with the fact that we're still in the apex, in the big 2025? What are we still doing it? I get in 2020 where, oh, big scary COVID, we're not allowed to have crowds at sporting events. Whatever, that makes sense. Why 5 years later, when we're allowed to have crowds, what are we still doing in the apex, for crying out loud? In the apex, where there's no crowd, the fighters can hear DC yapping along the side eating his popcorn. Why are we still here? That's just a side note, right? That's not even the point in the video, right? Nextly, that's not even a word. What am I on about? Secondly, we didn't even get a main event. Blanchfield versus Barber was meant to be the main event. Gamrot versus Klein was the main event. We got a Mateus Gamrot main event in Big 2025. He snuck another one in. But Blanchfield versus Barber was meant to be the main event. We didn't get it because 10 minutes before the walk, probably less than that, 5 minutes before the walk, Macy Barber allegedly has a seizure, right? This could be due to, weight cut issues. She did miss weight, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But I don't think this has ever happened before, where a fighter has 5 minutes before the walkout in the main event has just pulled out because they can't make the walk. They're not medically cleared to make the walk, which is insane. But, she missed weight for this fight, and that may have caused the seizure, a bad weight cut. But she missed weight by half a pound. She also got a boob job, which, if you do the maths, she missed by half a pound. Breast implants together, if you're getting the lightest one possible, weigh 1.5 pounds pretty much, or 1.2 pounds. It says in the bottom, saline breast implant. I know absolutely nothing about the topic, but you see my point. So if she didn't get this surgery and decided to focus fully on her MMA career or not getting cosmetic surgery in the middle of a fighting career, you're getting cosmetic surgery. What are we doing? JDM's not getting his nose fixed, is he? He's going to wait until after his career. Why are we changing your body equilibrium and how much you weigh in a weight class which you already struggle to make the weight, by the way? She said before that she struggles to make 125. Why are we then adding an extra 1.4 pounds of weight you have to cut, causing you to potentially have a seizure? Not the smartest thing to do, really, in the middle of your career as well, by the way. But whatever, it doesn't really matter. She missed weight for this because she got tit implants, which is insane. We didn't get a main event because she got tit implants, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm not that mad. It is Blanchfield versus Barber, so realistically, I probably wouldn't have watched it anyway. But we got a Gamrot main event. We got him. Gamrot actually. I'm going to talk in the Gamrot fight now. Because there wasn't really much else to this card. But, we got a Gamrot main event. The stats on the screen are lying completely. There was not a combined total of 11 total strikes in this fight. And combined total of 2 significant strikes. It was just a Gamrot fight. It was a Gamrot 3-round fight. If you picked Klein to win this fight, you are an idiot. And you should just never predict UFC fights ever. I predicted Gamrot to win because look at what Gamrot has done. He got robbed by Hooker. He obviously, he beat what's his name by random ACL tear. What is his name? Fiziev. Beat Fiziev because Fiziev his knees are made of rubber. Not even rubber. What are they made of? China. How have I messed that? It doesn't really matter. You get my point I'm trying to say. Gamrot out-wrestled Arman Sarukian. And what we think, I know Klein's got a little bit of power behind him, but do we just think Klein's going to be able to stuff every single Gamrot takedown? Sarukian couldn't stuff a single Gamrot takedown. I think he stuffed like 3 in a 5-round fight. Like, do we really think Klein's going to be able to stuff the takedown to Gamrot? He couldn't. Gamrot just controlled his back for the entire fight and just controlled him. So, if you pick Ludovin Klein to win this fight, you're a moron. I don't know why Ludovin Klein's getting this jump up in the first place, but, I think this just proves that we just shouldn't be giving unranked fighters Mateusz Gamrot. I know we don't like Mateusz Gamrot because he's boring, but he's a good fighter, so it doesn't really make any sense. But with this, if we just look at this card as a whole, we were meant to have 11 fights in this card. We got 9. No, we're meant to have 12 fights in the card. We got 9. Absolute calamic just card as a whole. Obviously, we have the Aaron Blanchfield Macy Barber problem. So that's 10 fights down to 9. Orban Elliott and Song Hyo Ko couldn't get visas. We missed out on 2 fights in the card because Ben Elliott and this random guy from South Korea can't get visas. Why does this ever happen? This just doesn't happen. Why? What's going on? Gustafson's been given about 5 guys to fight. He's fighting next weekend. Same with Marco Murdos. I don't know why Murdos is pulled. Murdos withdrew from this fight to fight next weekend. What's happened there then? Is he just not able? Maybe he's not able to make the weight in time. I guess that makes sense. But Gustafson's been given like 4 guys to fight because he got given Wells, and then Wells pulled out, and then he got given Giles on short notice, and Giles gets injured because he's not a full-time fighter. He's a police officer, so he probably had some tricky stuff when he was in downtown or whatever. And then now he's fighting next weekend along with Marco Murdos. So I guess we just gave up on this card completely. On top of that, we only got 3 finishes. We got 3 finishes, 2 of which being submissions, which I may also touch on this as well. How did the 2 submissions get performance of the night, but the one and only knockout of the card that happened in under 2 minutes even, didn't get anything? Dustin Jacoby got the only knockout of the card, but he doesn't get any performance bonus because we have to give fight of the night to Sanyos versus Adeline, where it was just Adeline piecing up and beating up Sanyos for 3 straight rounds. Not a fight of the night performance, but whatever. We'll move. It's a fight of night compared to this card. It was pretty shit, to be honest. But good win for Jordan Levitt. Picked up a submission, dash choke submission. He just cranked on his neck and then hit the worm. If I was Holloway, I'd retire straight up. Some guy just submitted you out cold and he's hitting the worm on your unconscious corpse. But it's fine, I guess. What's his name? Raham Brahimaj or Brahimaj? What's his name? Where is he? Brahimaj. Judge. Bugger. Anyway, I like him. Not really much else to say. He just nastily put out Billy Ray Goff, to be fair. And then we got the refs, ref cam. That's new. That's something we got from this card. We got referee cam, where we saw Billy Ray Goff's unconscious body on the floor after Brahimaj just put him out cold. Probably the only reason why he got a performance bonus over Dustin Jacoby, which sucks, but we'll move. As a whole, I'm rating it a 3 out of 10. It doesn't really get much worse than this. It can get worse than this, but which is why it's getting a 3, not a 1. But I doubt we're going to see that, but it's very poor. Still a UFC event at the end of the day, so that's what gets it 3 out of 10, but pretty bad. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.